So, have Harry and Meghan lost all credibility?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Chris Rock makes a couple of jokes which aren't strictly correct.
Oh.
In that Oprah interview, they didn't claim that the royal family were racist. And in fact, in later footage, they've said it was unconscious bias. So they'd never said it was racist.
Are we splitting hairs here?
No, we're not splitting hairs, because it makes a huge difference. You don't call them racist. You say later it's unconscious bias.
Meghan said that she knew that Camilla had a difficult time when she joined the royal family. She knew that Catherine had a difficult time, but neither of them had as difficult a time as she had because of the racism. That word is in.
That word is in. But she was talking about the racism of the press. She was talking about the racism in the press when there was that straight out of Compton thing. There was all of that. She didn't actually say racism in relation to the royal family.
How do you know?
The press is... She didn't say it on that documentary.
She did.
She did not. She said racism. Honestly, this is ridiculous. The trouble is, Angela, you are one of the mouthpieces that Harry has talked about. Harry has made it clear that we've always thought the royal family never complain, never explain. But the way they do it is through various journalists. And you're one of those journalists.
No, I'm not.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely not.
So you have no contacts with the royals?
I don't have any contact with them when I'm writing a book on the biography.
Oh, but you're not writing.
But I did with Camilla.
Where do you get your
well,
sources
I'm not
from?
going to tell you that.
Well, so you have contacts who have royal.
They are professional moaners, and they're actually not helping other people.
They're not moaning. They are not moaning. Harry has said he does not feel himself to be a victim. All he has done has been initially to defend himself and his wife because of the attacks of the British press. The palace, via people who portray what they want to have said, have constantly drip of poison from them, turning him into some kind of person who is dangerous around.
I think he is dangerous.
That's an outrageous thing to say.
No, it isn't.
The trouble with you, Angela, is that the royal family to you is the golden goose, and you are not going to kill the golden goose, i.e. the royal family. So you want them to keep on laying. Well, you don't know me.
This is the first time you've ever met me.
When you listen to Angela Levin's words, I think he is dangerous, about Prince Harry, you immediately realize how far the British media ecosystem has fallen. These are the words of a bitter commentator who has built her brand not on facts or insight, but on venom. It's astonishing how someone can make a career out of tearing down a man who dared to speak truth about the institution that nearly destroyed his mental health. Nina Myskow, on the other hand, brought a dose of sanity and humanity into that GB News clash. She saw the bigger picture, the reality that Prince Harry is not the villain in this story. He is a man who survived an environment that dehumanized him from the moment he could walk. Nina wasn't having it when Angela tried to spin her usual narrative, the tired Harry's lost his way routine. No, Nina stood her ground. She reminded viewers that Prince Harry's decision to walk away from royal life wasn't rebellion for rebellion's sake, it was survival. It was a man choosing love, mental health, and freedom over image management and institutional control. Angela Levin's behavior has become almost, well, performative. She goes from show to show, repeating the same recycled outrage, acting as though she knows Harry personally just because she wrote a book years ago. But, you know, books don't grant you ownership of a person's truth. Angela's portrayal of Harry as dangerous reveals more about her fears than his flaws. She fears the loss of the royal mystique, that glossy image of silent suffering that keeps the monarchy untouchable. Harry shattered that illusion, and Angela has never forgiven him for it. Let's talk about the word she used, dangerous. What is dangerous about a man who speaks openly about grief? What's threatening about a father who just wants his children to grow up free from the same emotional neglect he endured? If that's what Angela calls dangerous, then honestly, we need more danger in this world. We need more people unafraid to say, this is not okay. Nina Myskow, in that fiery debate, didn't let Angela's warped moral compass go unchallenged. She pushed back, calmly, intelligently, and with a grace that, frankly, made Angela look exactly what she has become: obsessed, bitter, and painfully out of touch. You could see it in the tension of that discussion. Angela tried to dominate with her usual shrill authority, speaking about Harry instead of to the issues he raises. Nina, though, turned the spotlight back on empathy. She highlighted what so many refuse to admit. Harry's story has inspired countless men to seek help, to open up, to confront trauma. How is that a bad influence? It's a revolutionary one. Prince Harry is reshaping masculinity, and well, that scares people like Angela who are invested in the old, emotionless model of stiff upper-lip Britishness. GB News has made itself a platform for these cruel theatrics, giving airtime to commentators like Angela who thrive on provocation rather than perspective. But Nina Myskow refused to play that game. She didn't raise her voice to win, she raised her reasoning. She called out the hypocrisy of a press that praises Prince Andrew's dignity while condemning Prince Harry's honesty. She held her ground when Angela descended into personal attack, as she always does. Nina showed that you can disagree without dehumanizing. Angela, on the other hand, seems to have lost that distinction long ago. When Angela Levin calls Harry a bad influence on children, she is effectively saying that children shouldn't see men cry, shouldn't see fathers protect their families, shouldn't see survivors of trauma speak up. What message does that send to the next generation? That silence equals strength? That emotional intelligence equals weakness? That's not guidance. That's indoctrination. Nina understood that. She understood that Prince Harry's greatest crime, in the eyes of the establishment, was daring to be human in a system that rewards suppression. Let's not forget that this is the same Angela Levin who once claimed to admire Harry before he married Meghan. And yet, the moment he chose love over conformity, she turned on him like a vulture sensing fresh prey. Her entire persona became a crusade to delegitimize his every word. She twisted his pain into a performance, his therapy into a threat, his marriage into manipulation. And for what? To preserve her access to the media circuit? To keep selling her outrage as expertise? Nina Myskow, unlike Angela, wasn't blinded by that parasitic press mentality. She could see the truth. That Harry and Meghan's story exposed something ugly about British society's relationship with the monarchy. Nina understood that behind every smear headline about Harry being unstable or dangerous lies the same old fear, the fear of progress, the fear that truth-tellers will dismantle the illusion that certain people are beyond criticism. Nina reminded viewers that Harry's decision to step away didn't just protect himself. It sent a message to anyone trapped in a toxic family system. You are allowed to choose peace. Angela Levin doesn't want that message spreading, because it threatens the emotional blackmail that keeps institutions like the monarchy functioning. It's laughable, really, how Angela has turned herself into a self-appointed judge of character. She talks about bad influence while embodying everything toxic about the media: arrogance, cruelty, and willful ignorance. Her disdain for Harry isn't about morals, it's about money. She knows every insult directed at him will trend, every sneer will sell, and every time she calls him dangerous, she's counting on the clicks. Nina Myskow, though, represents the antidote, journalism that still values fairness over frenzy. Nina's voice that day reminded people that compassion is not complicity. Defending Harry doesn't mean idolizing him, it means refusing to dehumanize him. It means seeing beyond the tabloids and recognizing a man who grew up grieving his mother while cameras turned her death into entertainment. That's the same press culture Angela Levin now upholds, the same one Harry has spent years warning us about. Nina wasn't arguing for rebellion, she was arguing for reason. When Angela called Harry dangerous, what she really meant was disruptive. Because, he disrupted the comfort of the British press. He disrupted the idea that silence is noble. And he disrupted the illusion that the monarchy is a fairy tale, rather than a system built on emotional control. That's what Angela cannot forgive him for. Nina Myskow, however, saw that disruption for what it is: healing. Harry's openness is not dangerous, it's contagious. It gives people permission to be human again.